Good evening and welcome to the Diamond News Desk. At 8, we bring you the latest stories, some featured on DiamondTVZambia.com. Follow Diamond TV online on Facebook and on X at Diamond TV Zambia. Let's start with the stories making headlines. These are the top stories. Police in Kapirimposhi uncover body of missing man buried in shop owned by 22-year-old friend. ECZ launches 2025 mass voter registration as it urges citizens. We apologize for that technical glitch. Let's take a look at the top stories. 43-year-old Lundazi man dies under unclear circumstances after 260 Kwacha Bonanza winnings on drinking spree. 11-year-old girl spends 5 nights in the bush after alleged physical abuse by her aunt. President Hichilema invites more Chinese investment to boost Zambia's energy generation and industrial growth. Thank you for joining me. My name is Dingindaba Jonah Buyoya to give you details in some of the biggest news stories. A 43-year-old man of Riverside Township in Lundazi district has died under unclear circumstances a day after he spent the 260 kwacha he won from a Bonanza gaming machine on drinking a local beer. The incident allegedly occurred on the morning of October 12, 2025. Eastern Province Police Commanding Officer Robertson Mwemba has confirmed the death of Undani Piri, who returned home to inform his mother, witness Chawinga, of his win on the 11th of October before leaving again to continue drinking. Mr. Mwemba says the victim finally returned home at 23:30 hours in a drunken state and retired to his bedroom. The following morning at 6 hours, his mother discovered him unconscious.
It was a story that began with a stroke of luck, a small win, a moment of celebration for 43-year-old Undani Piri of Riverside Township in Lundazi. A 260 kwacha bonanza prize promised a night of enjoyment. On October 11th, he returned home, shared the happy news with his mother, witnessed Chawinga, and then left again. The winner's cash destined for a night of drinking local beer with friends. But this story of celebration has a tragic and a sudden end.
It was just his chance to play that game on that day. And we can't call it that it has contributed to his death, no. He has 2 children and 1 grandchild. Deceased person, he was the one who was keeping my aunt here in Mwase, together with the young brother. It's a great loss to us as a family member, because he was the one keeping our auntie. The father, our uncle, died some time ago.
Eastern Province Police Commanding Officer Robertson Mwemba confirms that Undani Piri stumbled home late that night, deep in a drunken state, and retreated to his bedroom.
That man won, it was 260 kwacha, not 1,000. 260 kwacha that he got, and he went back drinking or boozing. When he went back, the following day was no more. But We are on the ground investigating just to find out exactly, but I'm confirming that his story is there, it happened, the way I gave you. All those who wrote, maybe it was just a slip of the pen. It wasn't thousands, but it was 260 kwacha.
The body of Undanipiri now lies in the mortuary of Mwase Rural Health Center. A life cut short its final chapter, waiting to be written by a post-mortem examination. Samuel Sylvester Kwame, Diamond News, Eastern Zambia.
An 11-year-old girl from Mazabuga has recounted a harrowing experience of alleged physical abuse at the hands of her aunt, who is also a teacher at Kaonga Secondary School. In an interview with Diamond News, the girl has revealed that since moving in with her aunt, who is her father's elder sister, she has faced constant accusations and severe beatings. One such assault allegedly left her with a swollen hand, prompting her to flee into a nearby bush out of fear of further abuse. Meanwhile, police have confirmed taking up the matter and that the suspect is currently detained at Mazabuga Central Police Station, waiting to formally be charged.
An 11-year-old girl from Mazabuga's Chilala farm of Southern Province has shared how she spent 5 days in the bush to escape her auntie's abusive physical treatment, which has left her with a swollen hand. The grade 2 pupil at Kaonga Primary School stays with her auntie, who is also a teacher at the same school but secondary section. Says she has been subjected to physical abuse since she began living with her auntie. She assaulted me twice, from the time we came back from the camp meeting, and again last Saturday. And during the second incident, I was accused of destroying the chicken's crow. My hand became swollen due to beatings. That's when I decided to go and live in the bush. Community members who found the girl in the bush where she had been spending nights condemned the abuse, as the child has only been eating wild fruits.
So mundaye kwamba kuti pinda kuti ndiumune biyo ndikale in case chini mwindu chachitika chachiki ya health ya mwana oyo lati sore kuchani winka ku police kwakuba.
The people found this girl in the bush are workers from the same farm where she lives with her auntie, and they were afraid to take her back home due to the mistreatment she suffers there. So they decided to bring her to me, and that's when I decided to involve the police.
For 3 days agari ya matobo 3 days alike.
The child had been spending nights alone in the bush, surviving on wild fruits, and was subjected to severe mistreatment and abuse.
The
case has since been reported to Mazabuga Police Station, and a medical report has been issued. And according to the Zambia Children's Code Act No. 12 of 2022, physical abuse, including corporal punishment, is prohibited and criminalized. The law explicitly forbids subjecting children to torture or cruel treatment. Helga Chwe, Diamond News, Mazabuga District in Southern Province.
Now, frustration is mounting for maize farmers in Eastern Province, as many who supplied their produce to the Food Reserve Agency, the FRA, are still waiting for payment months after delivery. The unpaid farmers say the delayed payments are causing severe financial strain and uncertainty as the next farming season approaches. Iso Banda of Unkani village in Kasenengwa district expressed disappointment that government through the FRA can allow farmers to suffer without payments. And for Food Reserve Agency FRA Acting Executive Director Justin Junka has urged farmers to exercise patience as the payment of farmers across the country is ongoing. Our reporter Samuel Kwave has more details in this report.
The fields in Eastern Province have long been harvested. The maize has been weighed, bagged and delivered to the National Food Reserve Agency FRA, but for many farmers, the season's work remains painfully unfinished. The promise of payment for their grain has turned into a waiting game of months, leaving them in a state of financial limbo.
Nepereka Masaka 37 komandana manarumba zikaliyowe.
I sold my maize 3 months ago and up to now, I have not been paid. How can I prepare for the next farming season like that? We need the payment soon. Government should not treat us like this, he says.
Zaka zonse soleka msawu uyu akaleke nthawi yanji.
Anatengera milisi ndrama saa mpasa.
It is sad that farmers are not considered a priority every year. Why do you treat us like this? We need this money as soon as possible for our preparations of the next farming season, he says. The delay is more than just an inconvenience. It's a chain reaction of hardship. Without this crucial income, families are struggling to buy essentials, pay school fees, and prepare for the next planting season. This government is not fair to us. Farmers, we sowed maize a long time ago, and we are told to wait for how long? He questions.
Mumashops kuinga na pamtengo wa 250 kwacha. Lero lino muntu sana gulepo fertilizer 250 kwacha.
The Food Reserve Agency FRA has an assurance.
Yes, we are currently paying, and the farmers, if you go in some of the locations, not the countrywide, we are paying, but the process of our paying is slightly a bit slow. Our appeal now currently is that I think we are appealing to our farmers, basically who have been so patient, that they can exercise a bit of some patience. The payments are currently ongoing. We're trying by all means to ensure that we improve the process of making payments to them.
Samuel, Sylvester Kwawe, Diamond News, Eastern Zambia.
President Hakainde Hichilema says Zambia remains open for investment in the energy sector as the government works to expand power generation and support industrial growth. Speaking when Wonderful Group Chief Executive Officer Huang Yaoshi and China National Chemical Engineering Group Chairman Mo Dingye paid a courtesy call on him at State House, President Hichilema has commended the ongoing collaboration with Chinese investors. He notes that projects such as the solar plant already feeding into the national grid demonstrate the tangible benefits of Zambia's partnership with China. He says government welcomes more investment, technology and capital to boost the country's energy capacity and economic progress.
Energy and investment remain key drivers of Zambia's economic growth, powering industries, creating jobs, and improving livelihoods across the nation. In this regard, Chinese investors from the Wonderful Group and the China National Chemical Engineering Group paid a courtesy call on President Hakainde Hichilema at State House.
As the national team of chemical engineering in China, CNCC, we can provide in Zambia the most advanced technologies, Chinese equipment, and of course project management skills in order to together cooperate with Zambia to build the industrial system.
And the power generating, we already started, did many tests, now it's moving smoothly and already connected with the national grid. I'm sure the Honorable Minister knows. We always communicate with the LESCO and the power already generated.
Two key ministries were part of the discussions.
In the energy sector, like you have heard, Mr. President, that we have been identified that in the energy sector, Zambia has got potential to address the power deficit that we are facing as a country, and this is to enhance our energy mix.
So, Excellency, it's a very good day that we have, and your vision is steadily coming to a reality by attracting value addition investment, which is also creating many jobs.
And President Hichilema has commended the strong collaboration with China, saying Zambia is open for business and welcomes more investment, technology, and capital to strengthen the energy sector and drive national development.
We do appreciate our strong partnership with the Chinese government, and I would like you to pass the message to President Xi Jinping. We want to indicate to you that Zambia is open for business, for you to look at more aspects of what your group does. the opportunities should, yes, be in what you've invested already, but the areas you have not invested in. What you invested in, energy, sits on the top. The opportunities we have, Mr. Chairman, we want to bring energy to the top of the list, because without energy, we cannot invest in other, chemicals and related businesses.
As Zambia continues its path toward energy security and economic transformation, partnerships like these remain vital in lighting up industries and empowering communities nationwide. Victoria Kajeye Yambani, Diamond News.
Now, United Nations World Tourism Organization Secretary General Sheikha Nasser Al-Nawoy has praised Zambia's tourism growth since 2024 and has pledged continued support towards capacity building and investment promotion in the sector. Speaking when he paid a courtesy call on President Hakainde Hichilema, Ms. Al-Nawoy says her visit aims to explore opportunities for collaboration, including in Livingstone, to strengthen Zambia's tourism sector and attract more investors. And President Hichilema has welcomed the initiative, emphasizing the importance of training infrastructure development and hospitality standards in driving Zambia's economic growth through tourism.
Africa is very important to us. I feel there's a lot of untapped potential that is yet to be explored in Africa. You have beautiful natural resources, and there's a lot of potential there. So that's the reason we have taken a lot of time off to visit, understand more about the infrastructure, about the needs and requirements, and to see how we can make sure to fulfill and help in bridging this gap and fulfilling their needs. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank His Excellency, Rodney, for his constant support. I'm counting on his support as well as a chairperson of the Federation of Africa under the UN Tourism, because we need to make sure that all African nations are very much aligned.
Zambia must be viewed by you and your team members as a friend and as a partner that will provide support as you get confirmed or ratified in the job. And I'm glad you've already raised issues, Minister raised issues, that we need to deepen our cooperation.
We'll take a break and we'll give you continued updates of what's making news after these short messages.
This is your Diamond Insight of Lusaka's Burial-Space crisis. Planning for death cannot wait. Lusaka's burial-space crisis has reached an alarming proportion. At Old Chingwere Cemetery, new graves are now being dug on top of existing ones, a stark symbol of the capital's growing desperation and the authorities' failure to plan ahead. For years, the Lusaka City Council has promised to secure additional land in neighboring districts for burial purposes. Yet, despite repeated assurances, no meaningful progress has been made. The result? A grim reality. The city has effectively run out of space to bury its dead. This is not merely a logistical challenge, it is a matter of dignity, public health and good governance. Every citizen deserves a respectful final resting place, and the current situation denies that fundamental right. Overcrowded cemeteries, risks the spread of disease and erode the cultural and spiritual values attached to burial traditions. The crisis also exposes deeper weaknesses in urban planning. As Lusaka continues to grow, land becomes scarcer. The city cannot rely on temporary stopgap measures. Long-term sustainable solutions are urgently needed. Authorities must act decisively to acquire new burial land, strengthen cemetery management, and ensure accountability. In addition, Lusaka should explore modern burial alternatives such as cremation, memorial parks, and other practices that are already in use in rapidly expanding cities worldwide. Public awareness campaigns can also promote sustainable burial practices and reduce pressure on limited space. Lusaka's burial crisis is a stark reminder that planning for life must include planning for death. Words and promises are no longer enough. What the city needs now is decisive action, foresight, and leadership that restores dignity to the departed and confidence to the living.
Business News is brought to you by Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank. Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank, making tomorrow possible.
Pleasant good evening. You're watching the Diamond News Desk at 8, and I am here to run you through business stories that are making headlines. What we will look at this evening is government seeking about $754 million for agricultural hand-in-hand initiative. Later on, Finance Minister says Zambia is back on track with debt service payments. I will later give you the Kwacha's performance on the international market, some good news there, and we'll close it all off with the commodity prices, so do stay tuned. Let's jump right into business with the details. My name is Tapiwa Ngoma. Leading us into our first story this evening, youth advocates committed to promoting good health for harms of tobacco in Zambia have called for the President, Hakainde Hichilema, to fast-track the enactment of the Tobacco Control Bill, citing loss of lives from tobacco-related deaths. The youths have noted that countries such as Botswana, Mauritius, Uganda, Kenya, and Ghana have implemented similar legislation, and their economies have not crumbled. They have urged members of parliament to resist corporate interests and prioritize health in the public.
With Zambia losing thousands of lives each year to tobacco-related diseases, youth advocates are urging President Hakainde Hichilema to expedite the Tobacco Control Bill, a move they say will help protect human capital and secure the country's economic future. Their message was delivered at Chingwere Cemetery in Lusaka, a venue they deliberately chose to symbolize the human cost of tobacco consumption.
Every single day, we lose 20 people to tobacco-related diseases. In 1 year, that's 7,142 Zambian lives lost. Don't fall for the lies of the manufacturers who profit while Zambians die.
We are tired of losing many youths, our future leaders, your leaders of tomorrow.
Because young people are dying to the hooks of tobacco at the expense of the industry making profit.
The advocates say countries such as Botswana, Mauritius, Uganda, Kenya, and Ghana have enacted strong tobacco control laws, and their economies have not crumbled.
Tobacco and cigarettes are now sold everywhere. They're very accessible to young people. A child as young as 7 or 10 can easily walk to a Kantemba or any shop and be sold this stick. We are selling our future for a few coins, for just a bit of profit.
They are urging Parliament to prioritize public health over corporate interests. The briefing was organized by the Tobacco Control Consortium of Zambia with support from the Center for Primary Care Research.
Every single time the tobacco industry is outside schools waiting for children to come outside and then hook them on their products. This is a habit we cannot tolerate. And if you were to count, but if they could, they would whisper, protect the living.
Best
Protect
Jere,
the living.
Diamond News.
Protect the living.
Zambia's Finance and National Planning Minister, Dr. Stumbeko Msokotwane, says the country is now back on track with debt restructuring service payments. Dr. Msokotwane has attributed the development to restructuring of Zambia's eligible debt and the signing of related agreements. He made the remarks on the sidelines of the 2025 annual meeting of the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank in Washington, D.C.
In the 2026 budget, we have provided for all the payments of the structured debt as per agreement. And I'm happy to say that even what was agreed in 2025, we have serviced all the debts as per agreement in 2025. That's why in the middle of the year, we had to go back to Parliament to adjust the budget to those supplementary. And I can confirm that since then, we've been current on all restructured debt. So in a similar manner, going to 2026, all the agreed structured debt will be serviced.
And the Zambian government has launched its agricultural investment plan under the Hand in Hand initiative at the 2025 High-Level Forum at the Food and Agriculture Organization headquarters in Rome. The plan aims to boost productivity, promote value addition, improve nutrition, and enhance food security through targeted investments in maize, soybeans, aquaculture, and honey value chains. Fisheries and Livestock Minister Engineer Peter Kapala has reaffirmed Zambia's commitment to improving the investment climate and expanding regional trade, highlighting efforts to facilitate beef exports to Angola and utilize the Lobito corridor for exporting surplus maize and copper. With an estimated total investment of about $952 million, the minister says $239 million USD has so far been raised from the government, Sanaco, and Good Nature Agro, leaving a financing gap of less than $752.8 million USD.
We are on an ambitious program to expand our cattle population and go into export to other neighboring countries. So we anticipate that we would be able to facilitate trade in beef exports with Angola. So that rail line will become handy because currently there isn't adequate transport communication between Angola and Zambia, apart from the, we can airlift, but then that adds to the cost of beef. We are looking at increasing our cattle population from the current 5.1 million to 7.4 million within 2 years. So we've seen that Angola...
Progress that we've made since last year. We were here last year to pitch for investment. We came with a figure of $952.8 million that we are looking for last year. Since then, quite some good progress has happened. The government has committed $200 million in what is known as Sustainable Agriculture Financing Facility. Zambia National Commercial Bank has put $23 million. Nature Agro has put $16.6 million, which means our ask figure has reduced slightly. So this year we are asking for $712.8 million. At a glance, Zambia is a land-linked country surrounded by 8 neighbors.
Let's have a look at how the money markets are performing today. The money markets this evening showing the kwacha's performance against the US dollar. The US dollar was buying in kwacha terms at 22 kwacha 54 ngwe, and it was selling at 22 kwacha 95 ngwe as of close of business earlier today. Those are your money markets. Let's shift our attention now and see what our construction commodity prices are looking like. Your construction commodity prices are brought to you by the Zambia National Building Society. Our first item this evening is a flexible sink drain pipe, and this will cost you somewhere around 557 kwacha. Our second item that we're reviewing this evening for you to consider purchasing is what you also buy, and let's have a look at that. Our second item is a machine electric driver small pistol drill. Now this is multifunctional and will cost you around 2,800 kwacha. Remember that these construction commodity prices are brought to you by the Zambia National Building Society, ZNBS. And with that, we move on to our commodity prices, food and non-food items, so stay tuned. Let's have a look at our commodity prices. We'll start with our food items. These are brought to you by MISO. Starting with our food items, a kg of beef is going for 114 kwacha. 2 kg of sugar starts at 64 kwacha, while a kg of sugar will cost you nothing more than 37 kwacha. 5 kg of Nakonde rice is going between 140 and 180 kwacha. 2.5 liters of cooking oil starts at 165 kwacha. If you need a bigger size, it starts at 235 kwacha. 25 kg bag of breakfast milling meal starts at 204 kwacha, but will cost you nothing more than 235 kwacha. Stay where you are. Your non-food items look like this. 10 rolls of toilet paper at 70 kwacha, 175 grams of toothpaste at 27 kwacha starting price. A bar of multi-purpose soap, nothing more than 45 kwacha, depending on the brand that you're purchasing. You also may need 1.5 kgs of washing powder starting at 115, a bigger size. 3.5 kg starts at 254 kwacha. These altogether are your commodity prices. Special thanks to MISO for those commodity prices, which bring us to the end of our business news this evening. So glad you could join us. We're taking a set of commercials, and I will be back this time around giving you what is making mining news headlines and details. Stay tuned.
You know, there was a time where all of this felt like a dream. Load shedding has turned our lives upside down. Every morning, battling with darkness, preparing the kids for school, it was chaos. Thanks to MISO, I can iron my clothes, blow dry my hair, and have breakfast without a hitch. With MISO, we glide through the day completely uninterrupted. School runs, errands, family time, everything just flows. So why not embrace the best solar solution for the best life? Choose MISO, where every moment counts and every day shines bright.
Join the MISO revolution and power your life with clean, sustainable energy. Call us today on 0961 844428 to find the perfect MISO solar kit for you, your business, and your family. MISO, best solar, best life.
Business News was brought to you by
Mining News, sponsored by First Quanta Minerals Limited, operating Kansanshi Mining PLC, and FQM Trident Limited.
Hello there, it's me again, this time around with your mining news brought to you by First Quantum Minerals. Our leading story this evening, government cautions Kansanshi contractors. I will be back with the details.
With my journey at Trident, I started as an operator in milling, then moved on to sampling. We have things like on-stream analyzers that are able to tell us how we're running the plant in real time instead of waiting for 2 hours to get the results, and then we take action. So from there, I went to being a metallurgist in comminution and moved to process control, and now I'm eventually in operations optimization. One thing that I have learned in this role is sometimes you're thrown to the deep end to kind of navigate for yourself. And that is a good thing because you build confidence. And if you don't do something well, you learn what not to do next time.
Let's get into our mining news details this evening. The government has warned subcontractors engaged by Kansanshi Mine in Solwezi against failing to give back to the community following the enactment of the local content law. Solwezi District Commissioner Tik Mulofwa says government will urge the mine to cancel contracts for companies that neglect corporate social responsibility, stressing that the new law provides opportunities for locals to participate in the mining value chain. And FM Cleaning Services has handed over 14 houses by the Solwezi to its employees at Kansanshi Mine. While FM Managing Director Gladys Makumbi says the firm's plan to build over 80 houses for employees aims to support infrastructure development for ordinary Zambians.
With the local content bill recently signed into law, the government has issued a stern warning to all mining subcontractors operating in Northwestern Province who are failing to fulfill their corporate social responsibility obligations following the enactment of the local content statutory instrument into law. Speaking during the handover of 14 newly built houses by FM Cleaning Service Company to its employees working at Kansanshi Mine, Solwezi District Commissioner Tik Mulofwa has cautioned subcontractors that government will not hesitate to take decisive action against companies that neglect community empowerment and worker welfare.
From what the government has seen, what FOM Cleaning Services has done, tell the Kansanshi management that this is what the government is looking forward, even to these other companies that are working, that are being given contracts from the Kansanshi mine. If we are not going to see such happening from these other companies, I think as government, we are going to quickly come and whisper to you as Kansanshi Mines to say, can you terminate these contracts with these companies? So that you put in people who will be able to be thinking to crowd back to the people that are working for them.
And FM Cleaning Service Company Board Chairperson Lawrence Makumbi has revealed that the 14 houses handed over are part of a bigger plan to construct 80 housing units for the company's employee in Muzabula area of Solwezi District, aimed at improving living conditions and promoting worker dignity.
FM Cleaning Services wishes to thank President Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND government for the good economic policies that they've put in place, which has or have led to FM Cleaning getting contracts, and in particular, the contract at Kansanshi. We wish to state to government that when you give good policies to entrepreneurs, for the entrepreneurs, for the locals, what happens is what we are witnessing.
We also wanted to advocate sustainable development goal number 1 in terms of ending poverty by improving standard of living. As we all know, a majority of low-income earners come from our communities called compounds. So we just wanted to improve their livelihoods a bit.
Meanwhile, Northwestern Chamber of Commerce, Trade and Industry has welcomed the government's commitment to enforcing the local content law, noting that it will help retain wealth within local economies.
This SI will stimulate local value addition, meaning raw goods will travel fewer kilometers before processing, and part of that processing may happen within Zambia, possibly even within Northwestern Province. That spurs the growth of downstream industries and strengthens our industrial base.
As the housing project in Muzabula continues, FM Cleaning Services initiative stands as an example of how private companies can complement government's efforts to uplift livelihoods through tangible social investments. Dante Walia, Diamond News, Solwezi, Northwestern Province.
Before we close off mining news this evening, let's have a look at our mineral commodity prices.
Mining news, sponsored by First Quanta Minerals Limited, operating Kansanshi Mining PLC, and FQM Trident Limited.
Our mineral commodities this evening look a little something like this. 6 metals we're reviewing. One of them has increased in its price by 0.73%, and that's lead. The rest have dropped. The highest drop noticed here is that of aluminium at negative 0.69%. What we also have is nickel dropping by negative 0.39%, zinc by negative 0.19%, and tin by negative 0.51%. Much closer to home is copper dropping by negative 0.16%. These are your mineral commodity prices. And that concludes our mining news this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll continue with the rest of the news desk at 8. My name is Tapuan Ngoma. Have a pleasant evening and God bless.
Mining news, sponsored by First Quanta Minerals Limited, operating Kansanshi Mining PLC, and FQM Trident Limited.
Now, the recently launched voter registration exercise has been marred by low turnout in Lusaka. A check by Diamond News at Chilenje Community Hall, Vera Chiluba, Chitanda and Chibelo primary schools have revealed that very few people are turning up to register. Center officials who opted to remain anonymous have told Diamond News that even though the process opened with a low turnout, there has been a slight improvement by the third day. And senior citizen Akokwa Ikashakala has encouraged members of the public to take advantage of the ongoing exercise, saying the process is quick and efficient. Meanwhile, ECZ Chief Electoral Officer Brown Kasaro has clarified that all registration centers have been provided with backup generators to address the challenge of load shedding.
3 days into the mass voter registration exercise that was launched on the 13th of October and will run till the 11th of November 2025, several centers in Lusaka are recording a slow start. A check by Diamond News at Chilenje Community Hall, Vera Chiluba, Chitanda and Chibelo primary schools found few people showing up to register. In an interview, Akoa Ikashala, a Kablonga resident who just replaced his voter's card, says the process is quick and encouraged others to come forward while there's still time.
Have my voter's card replaced. It was damaged, so I got a new one. Looking at the process, I think it's a quick one, and we encourage other members of the community to come and have their voters. Those who don't have, I think this is the right time for them to come and have. For those who have got damaged one, they should come to do the way I've done mine.
And Electoral Commission of Zambia Chief Electoral Officer Brown Kasaro has clarified that all registration centers are adequately equipped and ready to serve citizens efficiently, with all centers being provided with backup generators amidst the current load management crisis.
Has within it a battery. That battery can run up to at least 8 hours. Mm-hmm. On normal load, it can run for 8 hours. So now, besides that, so the kit itself has battery that can run 8 hours plus. Besides that, what we've provided is that each registration kit or each center will have a generator a portable generator set to be able to run.
Meanwhile, Gears has equally called on citizens to take the exercise seriously and exercise their right to vote by registering.
And register as voters. The time is now for all those that want to participate in next year's elections. As voters, the time to register is now. We want to also take advantage to call upon citizens of Zambia to ensure that during this same period, can we try by all means to report to the centers the deceased voters?
The Electoral Commission of Zambia is targeting to register 3.5 million new voters in addition to the existing 7 million during the 30-day period. Cherish Sibote for Diamond News.
Mprokoso Member of Parliament Brian Mundubile has dismissed speculation of a power struggle between himself and acting Patriotic Front President Given Lubinda. Mr. Mundubile has instead described his relationship with Mr. Lubinda as warm, respectful and far from confrontational. He says every political party has its own challenges and that the Patriotic Front is no exception. The lawmaker says the differences are being handled internally away from the media, adding that he will not lose focus to speak about the challenges that the Zambian people are facing.
Our drive is to resolve the many challenges Zambia as a country is going through. You will agree with me that Zambia as a country needs a committed leadership, a leadership that is going to attend to the many challenges that we are going through. Today, as I speak to you, if you look at the cost of living, Awantwale Chula, today the youths remain unemployed. Today, our farmers have sold their produce to FRA and are not paid. There are challenges right across the country. The load shedding is now up to 20 hours. So clearly what the country needs first is leadership. So what I present myself for leadership to resolve the many challenges that this country faces today. The challenges, as I've earlier outlined, include prolonged hours of load shedding, the high cost of living, among others. So there is no squabble, there is no fight whatsoever between me and Comrade Given Lubinda. He remains my big brother, and he remains the acting president of my party. So for those that may want to see, some spark around that, it simply doesn't exist.
Those are the stories making news this evening. My name is Dingindaba Jonah Buyoya. Thank you for watching. Good night.